Welcome back to Microsoft Ignite Live. I'm Anthony Bartolo, and on stage with me I have the teams from Accenture and Avanade. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Tony Lareris.
Jason Warnke.
And Victor Villen.
So you had a recent, very exciting deployment of Teams, 500,000 seats. How did the journey begin in regards to this implementation?
Yeah, I'll start with that. You know, we started even before Microsoft released Teams officially. We worked with Microsoft in, in the very early stages, and as soon as it was available, we made it available to our people if they wanted to use it. We have a pretty technical user base.
Yep.
And so it was available virally. But then through the last 2 years, we've gone through and done a series of readiness steps. We enabling conferencing, we're moving people to Teams only. We're now over 200,000 people Teams only, and by the end of December, our whole organization will be Teams only.
Now, for those of you that are watching online with us, and here in the audience as well, if you go to aka.ms, MS Ignite Live, we're actually throwing up a poll that you can actually come in and chime in, and if you're in the midst of doing your Teams implementation, what's been the biggest challenge you've come across thus far? And we have the dashboard up there, and there's people voting already, and it looks like end user change management, which was actually what I was going to discuss next. Previously on Skype for Business, moving to Teams, awesome that you did in a viral sense in terms of people getting onboarded in a quicker sense. With the amount of capabilities that end users have to create their own groups, to create their own chats, how was that addressed in terms of this type of implementation?
This was definitely by far the biggest challenge we knew we would get, and we're continuing to see. And that is because we still are, until we're going to finally shut it down, a massive consumer of Skype for Business, and people have gotten used to presence, chat, calling, meetings on Skype for Business. And that feature set is great, but it's fairly limited. Moving to Teams, there's a whole lot more that unlocks in a platform like this. And so we have a ton of questions about, hey, where is my like-for-like capability? That's the first thing people are interested in. But then they start realizing that there's a whole lot more capability that's now unlocked for their teams to engage with. And you do get that question about, I think this can do a whole lot more. Help me through the transition from those features that I know so well and have gotten used to look a certain way in Skype for Business to really unlock the power of the whole platform.
And then from an administrative standpoint, the ability to provide the guide rails is still there too in Teams, right? You can enable users to have certain limited functionality, not just carte blanche access. But in regards to the collaboration amidst the organization, how has that changed in terms of the way that people converse and people share ideas?
Obviously, we're highly distributed and working with a ton of different clients. People still, even with Skype for Business, are very email-centric. And so making the shift into a persistent chat sort of way and getting out of email, elevating to meetings when you had to, instead of just thinking you had to solve every problem by getting a group of people together to solve it on a call. That has been a big behavior shift, and we continue to train those new digital worker behaviors, which that's really the focus. We're trying to train on, not on feature set, but on the new behaviors that a digital worker uses today, starting in the cloud, starting with a document shared right from default with your users instead of working on it until it gets to a certain point where you're ready to share. So yeah, that's been a big shift for us.
And it's an interesting way, I've not heard of that before, and the fact that you're looking at the usage shift as opposed to the features and functionality of the solution, right? How has that affected in terms of the end user change from what they had before in Skype for Business, now moving to Teams, and the fact that you've gone through what is available to them, not from a feature set, but more so on a capability and changing of the mindset. Has that made it easier? Because we've come across scenarios where a team is being deployed and users are like, I don't like change. I don't want to adopt this. I'm just going to stay on Skype, even though it's going to be retired from the implementation standpoint. They don't want to move because they're so comfortable with it. How has that, showcasing the capabilities over the feature sets been beneficial for that change for those organizations?
I think it's important to understand that the move to Teams is a journey for your people. And the first thing that we focused on was just moving that conferencing experience and then moving the chat. If we stop there with if we say we're done because we replaced Skype, then we've failed. So the next part of the journey is really big. What we've done is we've forced people to use Teams as a destination. We've taught them how to be comfortable with basic tasks like chat and conferencing, and now we can enable all these other features. But the first step is to get them over there, because you're right, it's changed and they don't want to go. So that's how we did it, was by actually just forcing them to take their conference calls there. And now that we've got them there, and we've got over 400,000 people that log in every day to Teams, we're going to be able to take them on the rest of the journey, and they're comfortable and more willing to hear those messages.
What we're also trying to do now is that through our advanced technology centers, we run a hackathon. It's
yes.
been going for a month now, it's one more month, just to see what kind of applications can we create on Teams as a platform. Because what we've seen as well at Avanade when we deploy this to clients, when we start adding line of business applications into Microsoft Teams, so it's just not just a chat and video conferencing experience, then you actually get the real adoption, and people start using this even more. So we're running this hackathon now, it's been super exciting to see, and we also have the mindset to please create an application. We will help you deploy it to Microsoft Teams. We'll go through all the security and legal, all that kind of stuff, but we want to have more applications so we can make our users more productive.
That's awesome. You read my mind. I was actually going to jump to that next, right? The evolution of beyond communication and collaboration is now, how do you leverage Teams as that foundational platform to then jump off for information at your fingertips? So in regards to the hackathons that you're currently running in Teams, what has been the experience? Is it just developers that are participating? Do you have all facets of the business?
Yeah.
How are the conversations occurring?
So we've done a couple of trainings, got some help from you, Microsoft as well, but I've been running a couple of sessions. We've done everything from the kind of low-code solutions, how can we empower the end users who doesn't know how to code, to the really deep down, doing integrations, authentication, all that kind of stuff. So we have the whole spectrum, and that's what kind of applications we want to do as well, and that gives us experience, and that we can take to our clients going forward.
Now, from a security perspective, right? Now you're implementing this new solution, Teams, you had Skype for Business fully integrated. How hard was the transition from a security spec in terms of the implementation of Teams?
Yeah, on the surface, right, because it's part of Office 365, some of the controls you've already put in place, you already have. So like from day one, we had multi-factor authentication, right, which is a big deal for us. But we did have to rethink how we're going to determine what apps we're going to allow and what apps we're not. So we had to build a process to do that and do our information security, legal, and data privacy reviews. And so we're still sorting through that. I mean, honestly, we haven't enabled as much as we'd like, but we continue to deliver more capabilities every day to that.
And so in regards to even the business practices that the organization supports or currently is enabling, went from the application set and the ability to add on applications into Teams. How are you enabling, so it's a perfect segue, how are you enabling those individuals in those groups to have the capability of adding, let's say, I'm going to do Azure DevOps, or I'm going to do Power BI, and allow them to integrate that? How's that experience been thus far?
So we've enabled a good number of those applications for groups universally to use those and extend them. The thing that we're working on now, and right now driven by central IT, but with the idea that we create the pattern that those citizen developers can start to create those extensions. We're working on a few things now, everywhere from some HR-related applications to do real-time feedback right inside the tool. Instead of that, what happens is people do feedback one time a year, they do it at the last minute. We should be doing that feedback through the course of the day. And where people are already engaging is inside a team. So let's build an app that does that. We're doing an app to help do room reservations. We're doing one to put tickets in ServiceNow and keep updates on your various tickets. So we're going to create the pattern with some really great useful examples to drive productivity. That will, along with hackathons, get people really thinking about, hey, my team is already engaging in Teams completely. Let's bring those services and applications to them so that they can just be a lot more productive. It's all about productivity and removing friction from the process.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they'll come back and say, well, if I'm implementing Teams and there's going to be a whole enablement and access to information and applications, does email actually lessen? Do you start seeing less email coming through? I know that there are still individuals that emails, my main communication hub, and this is, if I need to pull up something, it's the easiest way to do it. Has that, changed at all in the organization with Teams implementation?
I have a standard way I answer this. We have 4 generations that work at Accenture at any given time, like most organizations these days, and not everyone works one certain way. So for certain people, it is completely eliminated, that tendency to go to email as your first option. Does it completely eliminate it? Completely no. And for some who are very still email reliant, it serves as yet another. I think it's a spectrum of where people have decided, I'm just going to communicate in this new way, and people know, you train the others you work with, hey, he's not going to respond in email, he's going to respond in Teams before anything else. So I think it's across the spectrum of people. Not sure we ever completely eliminate it.
No. And with regards to the implementation itself, what were the major roadblocks or challenges that you came across amidst, because you say it's a journey, it's a slow rollout. What were the biggest challenges and hurdles that you had to overcome when doing the deployment of Teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think any organization deploying Teams has got to look for, of course, politically, like legal and data privacy, but we'll make sure you have that. It's super important that you do a set of work around network readiness, right? And especially for any voice capabilities. So network readiness is really important. And then for us, we really want to understand the user experience. So being able to understand the call quality dashboards and the kind of experience that your users are having is super important. And you have to understand that all the way down to location level, because an organization of our size, if we have 1 or 2 locations which have bad quality, it won't show up in our global metrics, it just gets buried. Understanding those things are super important. And then I think you can't underplay the change journey. This is not just an upgrade of an existing tool. This is a brand new tool, and you have to teach people how to work effectively with that tool, and you have to give them tips, and you have to give it to them in ways that they understand based upon the kind of user that they are.
And it was awesome that you did the early adopter program and you had individuals go in there. How beneficial was that, because you had mentioned in terms of user experience, how beneficial was that to have early adopters to understand, the way that they would use the platform?
Yeah. Do you want
two huge things. One is we wanted to give you that end user feedback. The other thing is we wanted to understand the usage behaviors that are out in the field, not necessarily just the ones that us and IT can anticipate.
Right.
So we wanted those early champions that are out, serving our clients that are jumping on Teams for the first time to say, to make this work in my environment, this is what I need it to do. And so that feedback goes back to you. It goes back to our training to our individuals to say, on a deal of this type or a client size of this type, this is the best way to set up your team and to manage your team. So those are the two things about getting it out of the hands of the users as early as possible, because you're going to that feedback loop is incredibly important.
And then from an IT perspective, the benefit there, when you're getting that feedback, how did it affect your architectural deployment, or architectural design of your implementation of Teams?
I think we really took that in. So we really learned a lot, especially on the network side and what it's going to take to get ready. And then, again, we really took that feedback in determining how we're going to take people through that change journey, right? And getting the feedback for what people had trouble with doing or trouble understanding, that all circled back in into how we pushed out messages for our final deployments.
And now that evolving with the hackathon that you're running, how does that now also be taken into consideration? Because these applications that will be loaded will also take up additional bandwidth and resources and what have you. How is there a plan, like what is the plan for that, for the evolution of Teams outside of collaboration now being added with the applications? How will architecture change? How will bandwidth constraints or limitations change with these new apps? Is there a conversation, is IT involved in the hackathon?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and also, we decided to take a very agile approach to this. We don't really know, it's greenfield everything here as well. So we have a set of basic rules how we create these kind of apps, but we need to learn as well. That's why we want our developers and citizen developers to actually create these applications. We can learn from that, how do we deploy it, how will that affect everything from Azure costs to how do we host them to whatever. So that is what we're doing now. And hopefully we can do it before our clients, give our clients good recommendations on this.
Can you share with us the general theme of the applications that you're seeing?
So I would say it's very much focused on end user productivity.
Okay.
How can I make my job easier, and I would say a lot of Power Apps, and specifically Flow or Power Automate, a lot of things around that. How can I automate stuff? So
any bot utilization? Are we seeing any voice enabled, or?
I would say we haven't gone that far. That's even, I would say it's quite complex even for me. I'm trying to do a couple of those. Yeah, but hopefully we can get there.
Yeah.
But we need to get the application get started first so people can understand the value of actually integrate your line of business applications.
I'm always excited to see how, when you're doing hackathons, especially on platforms like this, how do organizations tackle, and what do they tackle with? What are the general themes, whether it's, advancements in access of information, or, just from a bot perspective, if you have general FAQ questions, and you usually go to a help desk, and having this bot having the availability to answer the questions for you. It's so exciting to see on this platform extend beyond just collaboration and communication, and actually be an enablement cornerstone for access to this data. What's the one thing that you're most excited about on Teams in terms of the implementation thus far? Just really quickly, we have 30 seconds left.
So for me, it is how you can take that traditional conversational context and make that into some rich end user experience. So conversations, it's something actionable for you.
Excellent. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being on the show. I think we're going to head it out onto the show floor where the community reporter, Stefan, is learning about Intel's connected experience. Stay tuned and take it away, Stefan.
What does intelligence